And Michelle Obama's second cousin is Rabbi Funyeh, who know we Israelites, and say, I used to rap with them all the time. Both of them know we Israelites. Just look up her second cousin, Rabbi Funyeh. Now, I ain't seen no writings where he believes in the Messiah. That may be a problem. That may be why things are still going crazy in the White House.
He called himself a rabbi.
But the bottom line is, she know and he know that we Israelites.
Why not? That's the black people.
Right, and that's her second cousin.
He a black. He think. What do you say about the black people? He talking about to the Jews.
Right.
Funyeh. Right. Said they need to what do you say? Judaism needs to start embracing Jews that are dark skinned.
Right.
That's what Michelle Obama cousin. He's a rabbi. Rabbi Funyeh.
Right. The head of the black Israelite congregation. He's the head of it. Her second cousin. Yep. He like her big cousin, like Mordecai.
Mordecai was the Esther. He was talking about how the Jewish people need to accept dark-skinned Jews.
Right.
So many like, look, y'all know better than y'all know the Jews.
Right.
Y'all need to accept them. So being that that's Michelle Obama's second cousin, and he on record saying Barack and Michelle know he is
right.
I try to rap with him all the time. See what I'm saying?
So he used to counsel them when they were on the Senate or whatever he had the job before he got none. Right. He always stopped by the house and they rap. We Israelites. We are me and you, sister, your husband is the Hamite.
So what we're saying, we may be looking at the same identical situation.
But you see how he infatuated with her. He's singing Al Green versus the Batuku Jack. Let's stay together. Tips moving, that scroll. That's all Israelite. That's what being around that queen.
All right, chapter 8. Chapter 8. You get your two?
Yeah.
All right, chapter 8.
On that day did King Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, to Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, but Esther had told what he was unto her. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken for Haman, and given it unto Mordecai. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman.
So Mordecai got hooked up, got the right hand ring that he gave Haman.
Right.
The king went right to Mordecai.
Right.
All right. So gave him some authority. All right, come on, bro.
And Esther spake yet again before the king, and fell down at his feet.
Man, she's still home. Yeah, come on, bro.
And besought him with tears to put away the mischief of Haman the Agagite, and his device that he had devised against the Jews.
She's like, yeah, well, look, he dead, but don't forget these letters already been sent out by post.
Right.
And we read earlier, they had already sent the letters out.
Help young bro over there get a chair.
Good. Yeah, they had already.
Bros, help young bro over there. I'll stack some of them chairs. Young bro trying to get a chair.
I'll back up. All right, where we at, bro? Where we at?
Verse 5.
All right, come on.
Verse 6. Verse 4, I'm sorry. And the king held out his golden scepter towards Esther. So Esther arose and stood before the king and said, If it please the king, and if I have found favor in his sight, and the things seem right before the king, and I be pleasing in his eyes, let it be written to revise the letters, to reverse the letters devised by Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, which he wrote to destroy the Jews which are in all the king's provinces.
So we got to go ahead and reverse this executive order you already signed and sent out. Because remember, they about to kill us people still. Dude that plotted on it dead, but this letter that already went out. It's been signed with the ring, the seal of the ring of the king. Kill all these people in these provinces that are part of this kindred right here.
That's right.
All right, come on, brother.
For how can I endure to see the evil that shall come upon my people? For how can I endure to see destruction of my kindred? Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, Behold, I give Esther the house of Haman, and him they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the
He
Jews.
thought that lay his hand against God's people, he done got hung. He's dead. All right, come on, brother.
Write ye also for the Jews as it liked you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name, and sealed with the king's ring, may no man revive. Reverse. Then were the king's scribe called at that time in the 3rd month, that is, the month Sabbath, on the 23rd day thereof.
23rd day of the 3rd month. Come on, brother.
And it was written according to all that Mordecai commanded the Jews, and to the lieutenants, and the deputies, and the rulers of the provinces, which are from India unto Ethiopia.
That's a whole bunch of areas. Come on.
And 127 provinces, unto every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, and to the Jews according to their writing, and according to their language.
Come on.
And he wrote in the king Ahasuerus' name, and sealed with the king's ring, and sent letters by post on horseback, and riders on mules, camels, and young dromedaries.
So in other words, he sped up these letters that he had. Now hurry up and get them delivered, because it's already delivered for them to die. All right, come on, brother.
Whereon the king granted the Jews which were in every city to gather themselves together,
Come on.
and to stand for their life.
And to stand what?
For their
The
life.
king say, look, this hit finna go down, but y'all stand up for y'all life. All right, come on, brother.
To destroy, to slay, and to cause to perish all the powers of the people and providence that would assault them, both little ones and women,
Whoa.
and to take spoil of them for a prey.
So he like, everybody woke up, you feel me? Everybody, you hear me? Then you take that spoil. That's what it is. Come on, brother.
Upon one day in all provinces of King Ahasuerus, namely, upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is month Adar.
That's the month we in now. That's why we finna feast in a couple days. All right, come on, brother.
The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and that Jews should be ready against the day to avenge themselves on their enemies.
King say, look, go ahead and get ready to avenge yourself. Because guess what? All y'all finna get killed based off this decree that I signed. Hey, you tricked me into signing. Right? So guess what? He sent another decree out. It was like, y'all be willing to defend yourselves. Y'all be shalom, bro. Y'all be ready to defend yourselves. Right? So let you know what the Bible tell you in Ecclesiastes 3 is a time to kill. This would be a time right there. The difference between that and murder.
Absolutely.
Go around just killing people for that. But if you got to defend house, home, family, what it is, then it's just what it is.
That's right.
Right? Come on, brother.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
So the posts that rode upon mules and camels went out, being hastened and pressed on by the king's commandment. And the decree was given at Shushan the palace. And Mordecai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold, and with a garment of fine linen and purple. And the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad. The Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor. And in every province, in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness and feasts and a good day.
And a good day. Time to eat. Right? Come on, brother.
And many of the people of the land became Jews.
Be what?
Became Jews.
Became Jews. Let you know other people outside of our nation, if they want to serve our God, come on home. Right. Come on home. Come on, brother.
For the fear of the Jews fell upon them. Chapter 9.
Yes.
Now in the 12th month, that is the month Adar, on the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution, in the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them, though it was turned to them contrary, that the Jews had rule over them that hated them.
Jews had rule over them that hated them. Now the Most High turned the tables.
That's right.
Always to the point to where we about to get wiped off the mountain, and he come on through for us.
That's right.
See that? You got something, brother? Yeah. Yeah, they gonna bow down at you and all. The Most High gonna show favor to his people. And he done showed it plenty of times in our history. We just too lazy to read it.
That's right.
All right, come on, brother.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
The Jews gathered themselves together in their cities throughout all the provinces of King Ahasuerus to lay hand on such as sought their hurt.
See, the Israelites was loped up. They like, hey, well, you heard me? We're gonna have to get at these people that's trying to get at us.
Bang, bang.
All right, come on, brother.
And no man would withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people.
Flat out.
And all the rulers of the provinces, the lieutenants and deputies, and officers of the king helped the Jews.
Woo.
Because of the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
So everybody helping out.
Right.
So that Most High show favor to you.
That's
That's
right.
like what you were saying earlier. John
That's
Bryan,
That's right.
one of the Gentile brothers that was putting his neck on the line to face some of us.
That's right.
He went to war with his own people just to get some of us about the cotton field. See that? But oh, you know, the white man's the devil. Stop all that. Stop all that.
And understand this, y'all. If y'all understand that kingdom is Esau's kingdom, you can't even have in your mindset to overthrow them. Because the Most High set them up for certain reasons. He gonna handle that business. So you can't get in your mindset that we gonna leapfrog prophecy and we gonna take this kingdom now. They supposed to bow to us now. They gonna let you know your time ain't yet. The same way them demons was when Christ cast them out. He said, y'all, you come to torment us before the time. Right. So y'all, you can't be looking for them to give up nothing. This their kingdom.
This their kingdom.
They'll tell you right, ain't your God gave me power to run it right now, to fulfill these prophecies. What you gonna be looking like then?
Right. Well, but it's like he did Pharaoh. You know, he raised them to drop them.
Right.
The Most High do that, man. Show that who really running the kingdom.
Right.
Is it Pharaoh? Is it Barack Obama? Is it the Pope?
Right.
Or is it the Most High? He allowed him to get so high, he dropped him. Now, feet right from above him, so you would know. Look, man, no Pharaoh wasn't God, man.
Right.
The Pope is not God on earth.
Right.
Serious.
It ain't what Jamie Foxx said, our Lord and Savior Barack. It ain't that by no means.
At all. But the powers that ordained of God. So if you trying to overthrow the United States government, in essence, you fighting against the Most High. All you gotta do is get here and teach this word and watch these prophecies come to pass. America is dropping its appointed season.
That's right.
It'll drop in its appointed season. What we gonna do? Get a whole bunch of AKs and overthrow the man? Please. These heathens got drones now that's over America.
Right.
Over 300 of them.
Right.
You ain't fighting that.
And you just shot all your stuff up on New Year's Eve.
Hey, you ain't ready to fight. You ain't ready for no war. Stop that.
Not with this champion.
Come on, bro. Let's get it. We almost done.
Verse 4. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater. Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword.
Why are we feasting? You see this?
And slaughter and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
Come on.
And in Shushan the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
So in the palace itself, they knocked 500 million. Just in the palace. Who all was down with Haman? Right? Come on, brother.
And Parshanda, and Dalpon, and Aspatha, and Porthra, and Adelia, and Aritha, and Parmashta, and Arizai, and Arizdai, and Baji.
Come on, but who are all these names right here? Come on, verse 10.
Verse 10. The 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hamatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they. But on the spoil laid they not their hand.
Come on.
I wonder why.
They killed not only Haman, they just killed all 10 sons of his got killed.
That's right.
For this wicked device he was devising against his people. See that? All right, come on, brother.
On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan the palace was brought before the king. And the king said unto Esther, the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace, and the 10 sons of Haman. And have they done in the rest of the king's provinces? Now what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee.
He's like, look, you know, woman, what you want now? 500 people have been knocked, Haman dead, his 10 sons. Anything else you want? Because he promised to have the king. What else you want? Right? Come on, bro, let's get it.
Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done. Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow, also according unto the day's decree. And let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
This is a daughter Zion right here, boy. She's like, yeah, it ain't over yet either. Go ahead and do this, that, the third. And hey, she was a woman of the Lord, though. You feel me? So, I mean, today, you know, why anybody would never do such a thing? Hey, a woman of the Lord that got ink in the Bible did. Wait till we read her prayer in the Apocrypha. Y'all really gonna be
See, that's
look
why
what she was asking the Lord to do.
That's why you gotta be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, and let patience have a perfect work. It's gonna be an opening. You'll see it. It's gonna be plain and clear. It's just gonna be a straight path for you to go through. Y'all know when that time comes.
She go hard.
Come on, brother. Yeah, she go hard. Really? Her Hebrew name is Hadassah. Any sisters got that spirit up in her? Spirit of Hadassah in this deal?
She do. Watch out for her.
Hey, and that's just one. So there's another book in the Apocrypha called Judith. Yeah, there's another one that was straight riding for the cause.
Been wanting us to read that story.
But she kept an order. That's what it was.
That's what we're talking about, y'all. Still understand who things were, just like in prophetess. You know, Miriam spoke out against Moses and Aaron, leapfrog in order. The Most High said, yeah, I deal with you, but as long as we keep things in order.
Right.
And y'all, that's the whole thing with the Most High, order and obedience.
Yeah.
You can make all the sacrifices you want, but you can be sacrificing for the wrong thing. Obedience is what it is. If he say do it like this, then it has to be done like that. Not how you feel it should be done.
You got to feel osity. What you got back there, Hebrew?
I was just saying, grew up, you know, like Brother David said, man, you know, she didn't jump and put it out there for herself. She followed the order. She went to the king, and then when she didn't understand, she got the Mordecai.
Yeah,
Right. Even though she didn't have a father, she still had a father in a sense, and that's what she
My
felt.
uncle was a father in the faith, would be lazy with both.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
So sisters, the Bible do speak about the sisters. I know y'all think it don't sometimes, but
Right.
this is sister right here that's famous in the scripture.
Right.
Playing a vital role. That's why we feasted a couple days. Come on, brothers, get it.
Chapter 9, verse 15. For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day, also on the month of Adar.
That'll be the 25th.
Right.
At sundown. All right, come on.
14th day, also of the month of Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey they laid not their hand. But the other Jews that were in the king's province gathered themselves together and stood for their lives.
Woo! See that? Everywhere else outside the palace, the world stood up for their lives. But remember, the whole kingdom was 127 provinces, from Ethiopia to India. Right. So that's fat as a mug. Remember, watch this word. See this map? That's how far this man's kingdom was. It went from Ethiopia, Kush, all the way past off the map over here.
Right.
That's how ancient the Persian Empire was. From Ethiopia, which is northeast Africa. Israel is in Africa too, basically. See that? One solid landmass. Kush, all the way past over here. That's how big Ahasuerus' kingdom was.
Just think about him traveling to all this kingdom on horseback. Well, you've been gone for years.
And then there's Israelites living in all these provinces as well. All over the scattered on the world.
You
All right, you got something?
You know, another thing, Bruce, we read the last one, the point I'm saying is those Hebrews, they said, give the land. What I'm saying is Israel being where they dwelt in.
Hold down, y'all.
The language of the people we dwelt in.
Yeah.
So I tell bro, we get hung up on learning Hebrew. We spoke every language within the continent that we dealt with.
That's right.
Many tongues, huh? Many
That's
tongues.
why I call hands. Speak many tongues.
Not that Honda talking. Honda, shit about Honda. All right, come on, bro, let's get this.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives, and had rest from their enemies, and slew of their foes 70 and 5,000. But they laid not their hands on the prey.
Well, so far, we got 500 people in the palace, right? That was 75,000, wasn't it? Okay, so now we up to 75,500 people so far. Let's keep reading.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested they, and made it a day of feasting and
Day of
gladness.
feasting and gladness. That's what this is about. That's what we get down for, to remember how the Lord delivers his people.
Right.
So you heard about the New World Orders, concentration camp, Mark of the Beast, the 10,000 guillotines they got at Fort Lewis. You heard about all that, right? But history shows when this people draw near to their God start doing marvelous miracles. You believe it or not? I mean, I don't know. I can't convince you. But history shows it. Down to Pharaoh's chariots at the bottom of the Red Sea to this very day. If you're willing to do the research, you'll find that. All right, so the Lord delivers his people.
How do you have fear of death if the person behind you controls life and death? Like he's your power. How can you fear death at that point? He's the final judge.
Come on, brother.
Verse 18. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th day thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness.
Come on.
Therefore, the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another.
You want to give gifts? Then gifts. This will be the time that Israel will give gifts to each other. During the time of Purim, not gift wrapped and put under a tree somewhere. No. This is when, you know what I'm saying? Bro, glad you're still alive. Heard? Got a little portion for you. Good looking. Remember, we about to get wiped off the mountain. All right? Come on, brother.
And Mordecai wrote these things, and sent letters unto all the Jews that were in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus, both nigh and far, to establish this among them, that they should keep the 14th day of the month Adar, and the 15th day of the same yearly.
Every year, remember what the Lord did for y'all.
Yearly.
Every year. Right? We ain't read nothing about Easter egg, bunnies, Christmas tree ducking, Halloween, Thanksgiving, none of that. The Lord got in her how he wants you to feast and how he wants you to worship.
That's right.
And we be having a ball. You would think it's squaresome. Like, you know, we was into the Pope and, you know, nuns and all. There ain't none of that going on.
Right.
Because that ain't what we read. All right, come on, bro. Let's get it.
As the days wherein the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned into them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy, and of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor.
See, that's what we supposed to be doing. So you know anybody's less fortunate, and maybe yourself or something like that.
That's right.
You will give some gifts to the poor. Maybe some skull caps, gloves. You know what I'm saying? Some people homeless,
Right.
scarves and all that. But you know, let every man his own kind. I mean, you know somebody's less fortunate than yourself within your own family.
And we're going to talk about that right after class. I'm not to cut him off for what we're going to do as a camp for that situation, because the Passover situation and rushing right into this one kind of got us behind the 8 ball. So what we would do for the camp as a whole, to assembly, which it would start Monday and Tuesday, we're going to do that for the poor. But we still got to move forward, because the Passover has got a lot of work that's got to be done. And we don't want to stall that just yet, because actually Purim can be done each individual family. You know, you make that decision, but as a camp, we're going to do that as well. But we need to kind of all as one body agree on how we're going to do that for that portion.
Giving gifts to the poor. Don't be giving somebody something, holding it over their head.
Right.
You know, I gave that to you, dog, and you right. Look, if that ain't even no sincere gift to church, you don't give somebody something, give it to them. Don't even look for it back.
Don't even look back.
Right. Don't even look for it back. We all know somebody's less fortunate than ourselves, so you would give them something that they need to sustain and get through this winter. Because it's cold outside.
That's right.
Right? So if you want to give something, 15th day of the month, $8, which would be 26th of February. You know, give some gifts to somebody that's less fortunate than yourself.
That's right.
And don't even be bragging on, dog. You know, I gave a whole, Goodwill. I went down there and dropped my whole back home to the Goodwill.
Right.
Just go ahead and do it.
Matthew 6 tells you, get your
Don't do your arms and brag. Don't be bragging when you do your righteous acts.
That's Matthew chapter 6.
In 1 Corinthians 13, Paul tells you about charity. He breaks it down the whole chapter on how to give, but if you're looking for some give back, he said you're wasting your time. You see somebody out in front of a liquor store and you give it to them, but you want to govern what they buy with what you give them, you need not be giving it to them. If you're going to give it to them, give it to them. What they do is you didn't give it to them for govern. You know, if you're worried about that, keep the money in your pocket. If you're worried bad things will be done with it, you give it from your heart, give it from your heart.
Good, it's got to work. It always at the same time. And where can I find the calendar?
The calendar?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like the Hebrew calendar?
Yeah.
It's based off, you need to come give us at the class, we'll show you the cycles.
Right.
We've got the cycles right here. Moon means month, so when they say the 12th month, y'all supposed to be in December.
Right.
Y'all off. Our new year for the people that believe in the Bible actually starts in April, slash March. Springtime, when everything's new. So 12 of these moons go by in a year. Moon got a 30-day cycle. Moon means month, so in order for you to know what each month means, you had to look at the course of the moon. You feel me? So this new moon came in February, was the 11th or 12th, something like that. So the 14th day of that moon put us almost right at the full moon.
Right.
Monday or Tuesday. Right. So that's how our forefathers gave us what time was in.
That's right.
Based off the moon cycle. The moon cycle has a 30-day cycle like every month. Close to it, except February. February, 28 days.
That's
Y'all
right.
can understand that Genesis
So
chapter
around Monday, you should see a full moon.
Genesis, matter of fact,
Genesis chapter 1.
Genesis 1 and 14, it's a rock for the 3.
Yeah.
Right here, it gives you, lets you know the moon was given for season.
That's right.
All right, so right quick,
And also, y'all, we also go by what's called the solar calendar.
Yep.
Because that's the week, it's the week Monday through Sunday through Monday. First day, Sunday is the first day on every calendar in the world. So that tells you what the first day of the week is. Saturday is the 7th day.
Yeah,
that's the day of rest.
Right, you got two cycles that's
Right.
developing. The Most High put sun and moon up in the sky.
That's right.
To do their thing. So write these down, Tom. Genesis 1 and 14.
You got something sis, like that? Speak a little louder. Well, Nisan and Abib, they fluctuate like the Passover when Christ, you see like 2 months and you see like some people say this contradictory, but Christ was when he was on the 13th of Nisan. But we'll have to get into that, but there was sometime there was a 13th month and they kind of overlapped. You know, each other, you didn't take days out like they do most times. That's why we can't say the moon is the sole calendar that we go off, because if we did, the Sabbath would change every week. But see, the Sabbath is set in stone. Before the sun and the moon was created, there was already light, so that's not governing us like that. The rules were already put down before the sun and the moon were created on the 4th day.
And check it out on a harvest level too, like when they knew it was the 12th month, and then they go out to the fields and be like, the barley crop ain't even ain't even ripe yet to harvest. Even though the moon is like the first moon now, right? They would declare a 13th month.
That's right.
And call it 8 Dar Beth. Why? Because their crops wasn't mature yet.
Absolutely.
So it's not time to have our Passover 14 days from now, nothing, because our crops ain't mature. So they'll give it another 13th month, and then the next month, it'll be Abib, which means mature.
That's right.
The crops was mature to be harvested. That's what all that means. Right, so sometimes it'll be a 13th month, but that's only when the crop wasn't mature for picking. And then they declared it. It was called Ador Beth. That was another name. All right, where we at, man? What verse? Where we at?
And 23.
Come on, y'all. We almost done.
We almost done,
Yeah,
y'all.
almost done.
And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them. Because Haman, the son of Hammatha, the Agagite,
The Edomites, basically. Come on.
the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast pur, that is, Balak, to consume them and to destroy
The
them.
ancient way to throw dice. That's what they were doing. All right, casting pur back then to come up with a decision. If the pur or the dice show a certain number aside or whatever, they make a certain decision spiritually.
That's right.
All right, come on, brother.
But when Esther came before the king, he commanded by the letters that his wicked device, which he devised against the Jews, should return upon his own head, and that he and his sons should be hanged on the gallows.
Come on.
Wherefore, they call these days Purim,
Purim. Now you know what your feast means.
That's
Purim.
right.
All right, come on.
after the name of Purim.
Purim.
Therefore, for all the words of this letter, and of that which they had seen concerning this matter, and which had come unto them, the Jews ordained and took upon them, and upon their seed, and upon all such that joined themselves unto them,
Even the Gentiles that believe. Come on.
so as it should not fail, that they should keep these 2 days according to their writing, and according to their appointed time every year.
Why we ain't grow up hearing about this? How the Lord delivered the slaves out of bondage, out of cruel calamity. We should have feasted that.
Right.
We should be feasting like, Lord, right on.
Right.
Good luck.
Thank you.
We almost done, bro. Hold on. Come on, bro. We almost done right here.
And-
Hold down, y'all.
Verse 28, and these days should be remembered and kept throughout every generation.
No, some generation.
Every generation.
Every generation, including today.
Every family. Every province. And every city. That these days. And that these days of Purim should not fail from among the Jews. Nor the memorial of them perish from their seed.
And he ain't talking Steven Spielberg. When you read Jew in the Bible, he's not talking about Steven Spielberg. Little Hyman.
Right.
He's talking about you. Jew is short for Judah. Judah was a son of Jacob.
Right.
Fourth son. See that? According to the biblical prophecies, those are the Negroes in America and scattered to the four corners of the earth.
And then Mordecai was a Benjamite, and so was Esther, but they knew in Genesis 49 when Jacob gave out the blessing because of what Reuben did to lose the birthright, and then Simeon and Levi, it fell on Judah, the fourth tribe. That's why they're saying this is the head, because Genesis 49 to tell you the scepter should not depart from Judah to the lawgiver. When we read like he gave the scepter and Esther touched it, the same way in our order, Judah, the tribe of Judah, has that scepter that all the other tribes, 11 tribes, must touch and understand that. So that's why you always see Jew at the top of the channel.
It
All
knows
the
that
tribe of Judah.
it never says Jewish.
Right.
It never says Israeli, Judaism. It don't say none of that.
Right.
But we run around confusing these people with what we read in here. That's your first mistake. If you ain't identified Israel, your whole sense of prophecy gonna be thrown off dealing with this.
That's right.
They the main characters in the Bible. What you mean you ain't identified them? Right. They're the main characters. It's all about them. Stop all that, man. That's why
I'm about to wrap it up, y'all. Hold it down.
that's
now.
why the theologians are off. They still can't get it.
Right.
The theologians. Right. This wasn't for them anyway. Right. Come on, y'all. Let's finish this.
Chapter 9, verse 29. Then
Y'all
Esther,
hold
the
it
queen,
down just a bit, y'all.
then Esther the queen, the daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, wrote with all authority to confirm this second letter of Purim. And he sent the letters unto all the Jews to the 127 provinces of the kingdom of Ahasuerus with the words of peace and truth, to confirm these days of Purim in their times appointed, according as Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen had enjoined them, and as they had decreed for themselves and for their seed the matters of the fasting and their cry. And the decree of Esther confirmed these matters of Purim, and it was written in the book.
That's it for that. Chapter 10, 3 verses in there. And then we go on to the Apocrypha. That's the last verse. We're going to end it. Chapter 10.
Esther, chapter 10, verse 1.
Y'all get some understanding reading all the way through this book today? Get some understanding. So you know why you're feasting. Alright, let's get it, bro.
Esther chapter 10, verse 1. And the king Ahasuerus laid a tribute upon the land and upon the isles of the sea, and all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai, whereunto the king advanced him. Are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Media and Persia? For Mordecai the Jew was next unto the king Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews, and accepted of the multitude of his brothers, seeking the wealth of his people, and speaking peace to all his seed. So y'all see a lot of y'all see the words where it says enemy of the Jews, and Psalm 139 verse 22 tells you what type of hatred you can have against anybody. It can only be what's called perfect hatred. And what that means is that anybody that says, I hate your God and all his laws, statutes, and judgments, I hate them, is your enemy. It's the only person can be your enemy. So y'all, we have to clearly understand this is not talking about just hate white folk or hate Ishmaelites or hating things. There has to be what's called perfect hatred. When you read Psalm 139 verse 21, 22, you'll understand it perfectly. And you'll understand how the Most High defines hate. All right, y'all. Let's get it. All right, y'all. I'm reading this last chapter.
We're about to read
Chapter 14.
We're about to read Esther, because the story continues in the Apocrypha. We're going to read Esther chapter 14, her prayer to the Most High, and one verse in chapter 16 about how Haman actually was a Macedonian. Showing you that he's an Edomite, but Edomites took over Greece and Rome and all that. Some of you go here on the opposite, but that's the truth.
Absolutely.
We're going to Esther and the Apocrypha.
Chapter 14, y'all.
Right after Judah.
Y'all just look in the concordance or the index.
It's right after Judah.
And y'all, because we want to get through this, because we got to make mention of the Passover and what we're going to do about Purim. Y'all, as a camp, so y'all, we almost done. Just hang tight just a minute.
What about her prayer? This daughter of Zion. What about what she was asking the Most High?
Esther chapter 14.
In the Apocrypha.
In the Apocrypha.
Everybody heard? Good. Let's get it.
Queen Esther also, being in fear of death, resorted unto the Lord.
See, let me get with the Lord. I'm about to get my head took off. Right? Come on.
And laid away her glorious apparel, and put on the garments of anguish and mourning. And instead of precious ornaments, she covered her head with ashes and dung.
What?
And dung.
I think we all know what dung is. I think we all know what dung is. Let's keep it moving.
And she humbled her body greatly, and all the places of her joy she filled with her torn hair.
And she was straight mourning to the Most High. She was ripping her hair out, throwing dust on her face, putting her rags on.
See, real quick, like you point out about
Hold it down, y'all. What you saying? What are you saying?
During the time of lamentations or lamenting for our nation, or even doing some personal things, we would put ashes on our head. We probably still get sacrifice. That's a common.
That's us humbling ourselves.
Humbling down to nothing.
She put all her gold.
She put her own hair. We know we dirty. Isaiah 1 and 30. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dirty.
In 1 Corinthians 11, which a woman her is given to her for her glory. So that's why she was just saying that nothing means nothing to me, because if they put down this killing spree, it ain't gonna matter. No matter, all of them be just as pretty in a coffin.
Exactly.
low as she can
Lord,
get.
I can get, Father.
Yeah, so that's what she was doing to get the Most High to her.
Verse 3.
Humbling herself. Come on, brother.
And she prayed unto the Lord of Israel, saying, O my Lord, thou art only, let me read that again. O my Lord, thou only art our King. Help me, desolate women which have no helper but thee. For my danger is in mine hand. From my youth up I have heard in the tribe of my family, that thou, O Lord, tookest Israel from among all peoples, and our fathers from all their predecessors for a perpetual inheritance. And thou hast performed whatsoever thou didst promise
See how
them.
she praying to the Most High? Come on, bro.
And now we have sinned before thee. Therefore hast thou given us into the hands of our enemies.
She ain't praying like she's lazy and don't want to get up and pray. She pouring her heart out to the Most High. All right, come on, brother.
Because we worship their God.
That's why you here. It ain't because a whole bunch of heathens canoed down the west coast of Africa and said, you know what, I want him right there. He's back looks strong. Right. You heard because you went against your God.
You say his back looks strong.
His back looks strong. I want him. You went against your God, so he ordained them to rule over you. Right. That's what has happened here. All right? Because we serve their gods. Even Esther knew that. And she was queen in Persia.
That's right.
Trip off that. Right? She wasn't picking cotton, she was queen.
That's right.
But she knew, look, the reason we like this is because we tripped before you. All right? Come on, brother.
O Lord, thou art righteous. Nevertheless, it satisfied them not that we are in bitter captivity, but they have stricken hands with their idols.
Agreement with the idols. Idolatry. Come on, bro.
That they will abolish the thing that thou with thy mouth hast ordained, and destroy thine inheritance, and stop the mouth of them that praise thee, and quench the glory of thy house and of thine altar.
Come on.
And open the mouths of the heathen, and to set forth the praises of idols, and to magnify a fleshly king forever.
She pouring out her heart to the Most High. Look at these heathens. Come on, brother.
O Lord, give not thy scepter unto them that be nothing.
That be what?
That be nothing.
Like, look, these heathens ain't nothing. They're not smart, nothing. What is going on here? All right, come on, bro.
And let them not laugh at our fall, but turn their device upon themselves, and make him an example that had begun this against us.
He's like, look, go ahead and turn what they plotting against us on them. Yeah. You can ask the Lord that. How you been praying, oh Lord, Father, thank you. You know, she like, Lord, look, you see what they got for us,
right.
Put it back on them.
Right.
David said, let me see thy revenge upon my enemies.
So that's what I'm saying. How's you praying out here? How are we praying? Oh, you know, Lord, Father, you're gonna. I mean, I want it, but I really don't think you can get done. Get it done. She was like, Lord, look, what they got for us, yeah, that's right back to them.
It's that faith way.
Lord, handle them for us.
And you see, though, what Esther did first was acknowledge what we are sinful. And we in this position because we sinned against you. So what I'm asking you for, we rightly deserve. First off, let me make that plain. That's what she was telling the Lord. We deserve what we're about to get. Because we wouldn't be here if we kept your commandments. So that's what she's explaining, y'all. That's what you got to see in that verses, some get back.
And
Ready to go scalp some heat.
because she said to him that we are in this bitter captivity. They see us in this captivity. They got us in this captivity, but they still putting their foot on our neck. You know, it's hard. What we just like here in this land, we trying and we struggle to get ahead, but every time you get ahead, they push you back down.
Right. That verse 7 said it. He said because we worship their God.
That's it.
That's what is happening. All right, come on, bro.
Verse 12. Remember, O Lord, make thyself known in the time of our affliction, and give me boldness, O King of the nations, and Lord of all power.
Sister asking for boldness. Lord, help me stand on your word. Come on, Israel.
Give me eloquent speech in my mouth before the lion. Turn his heart to hate him that fighteth against us, that there may be an end of him, and of all that are like-minded to him.
Calling for the end. Come on, brother.
But deliver us with thine hand, and help me that am desolate, and which no other helper but thee. Thou knowest all things, O Lord. Thou Thou knowest that I hate the glory of the unrighteous. I hate the glory of the unrighteous.
Why? Come on, bro.
And abhor the bed of the uncircumcised and all of the heathen.
All the heathen.
Okay. Why? Virtuous daughter, though. See that?
That's clear. Y'all, and this is why, y'all, we teach y'all in the Apocrypha as well, because when y'all read about Esther praying, now you get to see exactly what she prayed and how she prayed. Verse 16, Thou knowest my necessity, for I abhor the sign of my high estate.
I hate being exalted as queen. You know that. It wasn't unpersonal with me. All right, come on, bro.
Which is upon my head in the days wherein I show myself, and that I abhor it as a mistress rag.
Y'all know what that is. You know what that is. And this was a sister saying that.
Right.
There was a sister saying that.
Right.
All right, come on, bro.
And that I wear it not when I am private by myself.
I don't mean be on decked out and all that when I be by myself. Right, that's for the outside world. Come on, bro.
And that thine handmaid had not eaten at Haman's table, and that I have not greatly esteemed the king's feast, nor drunk the wine of the drink offering.
I don't serve their gods at all. Even though she queen, she was not down with their God.
That's right.
All right, come on, bro.
Neither had thine handmaid any joy since the day that I was brought hither to this present, but in thee, O Lord God of Abraham.
You thought she was picking cotton. She was in the palace, decked out, and still was mad at the fact, look, if my people are scattered and not at home, it don't matter if one of us is Oprah or Jay-Z.
That's right. That's right.
What that matter? Come on, bro.
O thou mighty God above all, hear the voice of the forlorn, and deliver us out of the hands of the mischievous, and deliver me out of my fear.
Right.
So this prayer was when she
had to pray.
told them,
Mordecai told
right, y'all go and fast for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do me and my handmaid going to do the same thing, but this is where the prayer was.
This is what she prayed before she went into her house.
And so that's the order. So
David.
not that we read 10 chapters, and we get to this in the 14th. This is back then.
And for y'all that don't know, this chapter 16 and 10 called Haman a Macedonian.
Hold it down, y'all. Y'all heard what he's saying?
I'm just going to read that real quick. The Macedonians are Greeks.
Right.
Alexander's Greek father was named Philip of Macedon.
Absolutely.
Right? Those are the Greeks. Feel that? But check this out. We went to his lineage earlier and showed he actually an Edomite.
That's right.
Right? So this is the connection between Esau taking over the lands of Japheth. He's an Edomite, but then he get called Macedonian right in here. Showing you what it is. Right? Check this out. A couple chapters over, chapter 16, I'm reading a couple verses right here. It says, this is a hazardous. He says, chapter 16, verse 10, for Haman, a Macedonian, the son of Ammedatha, we read that earlier, right? Being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood.
Oh, he's a stranger.
He's not a Persian. He's an Edomite, right? And far distant from our goodness, and as a stranger received of us, has so far forth obtained the favor that we show toward every nation, as that he was called our father and was continually honored of all men as the next person unto the king. This is the Persian king talking about him. Right. Check this out. Verse 12. But he, not bearing his great dignity, went about to deprive us of our kingdom and life, having by manifold and cunning deceits sought of us the destruction as well of Mordecai, who saved our life, and continually procured our good, as also of blameless Esther, partaker of our kingdom with their whole nation. For by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians.
Oh.
Now, if you know anything about world history, who took the Persians out? The Greeks. This man was a Greek in the Persian kingdom before Alexander and them rose up anyway. So the king like, look, he was only here to get our kingdom to fall anyway.
That's right.
I was deceived by it.
Right.
But he's a Macedonian. See that? So y'all, this is a lot of history we never get into.
Right.
We don't even have an understanding on it, but we busy Easter egg hunting and all that. Get back to the essence of things. Go ahead, bro.
Check this out too, though. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen that cartoon South Park, but they had an episode where the boys went to Jew camp, like Boy Scouts. And in Judaism, they actually pray to Haman. So it shows you that they know that Haman was set out to destroy us as a people. But in the cartoon, they showed that as Jews in Judaism, they pray to Haman. That's what he went to do.
Also to add, when he was talking about the movie 300, a lot of people don't know that those people were Israelites. You read about them in the book of Maccabees. They're called the Lacedaemonians in the Bible. And one of the ancient names of Greece was called Achaea. And when you look at the movie 300, you learn about they were called the Spartans. You know, Spartans come from a queen named Sparta, who was married to a man named Lacedaemon. So we're talking about these were black people.
That's right. Hey y'all, before we get our prayer on, y'all, I want to just make the announcement. Passover is Wednesday, Wednesday, March the 27th is the Passover. The Passover gonna be at the Occasionally Yours Banquet Hall. It's at Parker Road, and the program will start 6 p.m. sharp. Till,
All right, y'all, we gonna kick it off and end it. Psalm chapter 8. Jerusalem is that way. For any newcomers, we face Jerusalem. We don't hold hands in a circle, not in the Bible. 1 Corinthians 11.
That's right.
Says for the men to uncover their head and the women to cover their head in the Bible.
That's right.
Also, Psalm chapter 5, pray with your hands spread.
That's right.
So we try to keep everything as closely to the scriptures as possible. That way we may be in order. Psalm chapter 8. Remember, David had a heart like unto the Most High. Not saying he ain't never sinned, but he was sincere in what he was doing.
That's right.
All right, Psalm chapter 8. Closing Psalm. With the Most High's permission.
Hallelujah.
O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth.
Yeah.
Who has set thy glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest steal the enemy and the avenger. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy hands, the moon and the stars, which thou hast ordained. What is man, that thou art mindful of him? And the son of man, that thou visited him? For thou hast made him a little lower than the angel, and hast crowned him with glory and honor. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, yea, and the beasts of the field, the fowl of the earth, and the fish of the sea, and whatsoever passeth through the path